Hi, I'm J.R. Ross, PGA Professional, Director of Instruction at the Dogwood Golf Academy. Well, here we are, 2 days of torrential rain. Golf course is obviously extremely wet, and sometimes it's playing like a sponge, extremely wet. I've got some tips for you today. They're going to help you play better in the wet conditions, and also give you some rules that you will have when you're playing under conditions that look like this. So follow me, let's go to the course, let's talk about those wet conditions and how you can become a mudder. Okay, so if you're playing in a tournament, the tournament committee will decide what the rules of play are for the day, especially obviously when it's wet conditions. So if you're playing lift, clean, and place, simply what will happen in that scenario is when you arrive to your ball, you'll usually take a tee, you mark your ball, you can pick it up, clean it as I have. You will replace your golf ball back on the ground. You usually get about 1 club length, no closer to the hole. You need to keep it in the same condition as the ball was in that you found it. You'll put your ball back down, pick up your tee, you're ready to hit your shot. There'll be times that you will have an embedded ball rule come into play. An embedded ball rule is different than lift, clean, and place because an embedded ball rule is basically in a scenario where you are not moving your ball all over the place. So you get there, your ball is embedded, that means it's still in its pitch mark, it's down below the surface. In this scenario, you mark your ball, and again, I get 1 club length, no closer to the hole, keep it in the same condition. Only difference now here is if I'm not playing lift, clean, and place, I get to drop the ball. So I drop the ball, now I'm back in play. Okay, so another scenario you might encounter. Make no mistake, this is obviously casual water, not very difficult to understand what you're going to do in this scenario. First, you're going to fish your ball out of the water because I'm not walking through all that to get my golf ball out. So now I got my ball, and the rule is, again, 1 club length, no closer to the hole, full relief, drop my ball, I'm back in play. Other times that you arrive to your golf ball and you look, your golf ball's not in casual water. It's no water around it, but you walk in to take your stance, and as you take your stance, you can see water coming from the ground up to the bottom of your shoe. This is also considered casual water, okay? So again, we follow by the same rule. I get full relief, 1 club length away, pick up my ball, find my spot. I'm simply gonna walk back. I'm going to drop my ball. Now I'm back in play. And again, no penalty. Okay, now I'm going to give you a few swing tips for hitting off a soggy surface, which is very similar to almost hitting out of a fairway bunker. These tips are very important because when you're playing off of soggy surface, there's different conditions, so there's different setup positions, there's different swing ideas. All these things are going to make a difference. So I'm going to take you through a few things that will help you become more proficient playing golf when it's wet. The first thing that you can do is hover your club. The reason you want to do this is because if the ground is soft and when you take your stance, your feet are going to soak into the ground and be a little bit underneath the surface of the ground. So what you'll do is you'll choke up on the club about 1 inch, play the ball in the middle of your stance, and then you're ready to go. Then one thing I can do is hover my club. When I do this, what I'm going to do is, actually I'm going to stand up a little bit taller than I normally would, and I'm just going to allow my golf club to hover the ground. So I'm not going to clearly ground my club, and I'm going to catch the ball more in the upper part of the equator. I'm not going to be down to the ground. This will keep me away from the turf and stop those fat shots. Also, you got to focus on hitting the spot. So you always want the low point of your golf swing to be on the target side of the golf ball. So I put down a tee here just to kind of illustrate what you should focus on as you set up. As I set up, obviously my golf ball's there. I want to think about the low point of my swing being on the target side of the ball. So focus on a spot in front of the ball, make your swing, hit down and through the ball, making the low point of your swing on the target side of the golf ball. To wrap this up, the easiest thing to remember is always just swing within yourself. In order to do this, maybe club up, but swing 80% of your normal golf swing. Because you know what? When you swing at 80%, you're probably going to make a better golf swing, you're going to make more solid contact, and things work. So remember, club up, 20% off of your normal swing. This will absolutely get you through the ball and you won't hit it fat. So I hope these tips have helped you, because in closing, I don't ever want to see anyone ever have to play in conditions quite as bad as this, where you find yourself in a scenario where, you know what, you just rather take your shoes and socks off, roll up your pant legs, and hit the shot. Again, thanks for watching. J.R. Ross, PGA professional, Director of Instruction at the Dogwood Golf Academy.